Alright, we're going to tie the a Klinkhammer, and this Klinkhammer I want to show how to use Goose Biots for the body. So I'm going to tie my olive thread behind the eye of the hook and then trim the excess off. So I'm going to tie in the wing post. Just to show, I mean, other parachutes that I've shown have been natural hair, but I'm going to use Antron yarn orange to make it easier to see when fishing. So I'm just going to go just down a little bit on that shank on these Klinkhammer hooks, trim that excess off, and then I'm going to lift the barb up, the wing up, put a little jam knot in, and then I'm going to wrap around the base to give it a pretty decent post for the hackle to get secured on. I'm not going to tie the hackle in at this point. This is a different way I'm going to do it. I'm not going to secure it with thread. The hackle is not getting secured with thread, but it will get secured, and I want to show you a neat little trick that I found out. Next, I'm going to take about half a dozen strands of Zelon. I'm going to use gray, and this is going to be like a trailing shuck. And I want to bring this to, these hooks are very hard to figure out where the bend is, so I'm going to go down the curve, holding the Zelon away from the shank, match it up to at least where the barb is, and just bring my thread out of the way. And I'm just going to just give a little trim, about a gap and a half long. Okay, here I took a Goose Biot, and I want to explain that there's a darker edge to it, and I want to have that on the outside of the fly. So when I wrap it, it will show up. And now I just want to catch it and secure the biot in place. Take my hackle pliers and start wrapping this with touching wraps as I go up the shank of the hook. And of course I'm going to get my thread in the way, but I'm going to do what I can. So there's the next wrap. Also helps to put your index finger over it for when you want to catch again. Now if you run out, we'll just go and add more to it. So let me bring my thread and catch it. Secure that in place and get ready for the next one. And I'll just secure that in place. And I'll end it right where I'm going to tie the thorax in. So the ribbing is, the ribbed abdomen is taken care of. And just secure that out. And then add, since after you cut it, just add a couple of wraps to make sure that's secured in place. So now I'll just add a little bone dry over the thorax, the abdomen, making sure I don't put too much on, which I just did. So I'll just take some off, and then I'll hit it with the UV lamp, making sure that's hardened and protected. So now I'll bring my thread to in front of the wing. I'm going to take a hackle and I'm going to secure it in front of the wing and behind the wing, making sure the dull side is away from me. And then I'm going to lift the feather up and I'm going to put a couple of wraps in to secure this to the wing post. Great. Then I'll cut the stem off and then bring my thread behind the wing post. I'm going to tie in 2 peacock herls for the thorax area. Now I'm going to wrap them. Behind and in front of the wing, and right almost to the eye, but leaving a space to tie it off. Now I'll take the second one, do the same thing. This will help make it fuller. Oops, it broke. That's okay. And I'll trim that one off. Now I'll whip finish. Cut the thread off. Okay, you're probably saying right now, Jerry, you must have made a mistake because the hackle is still out there. So I just wanted to show you a new way to hackle this, and without having to tie it in. So I put a little bone dry on the base of the wing, hit it. So now that makes that nice and stiff. See? Now I'm going to take the hackles with my hackle plier, and I'm going to wrap it around a stiff post. Okay, now that is there. Get a little airflow back in here. Take a little bone dry, let it drop down into the hackles and then hit it. Remove my hackle plier, and as you see, the hackle will stay in place. It's not moving out of there. Now I can just cut it without having to worry about trapping any of the hackles with thread, and I can go and trim the wing post to any size I want, and there it is. Just get some of them. There we go. That's a quick and easy way to hackle a fly with using doing a parachute.